In a town like Port Charles, where secrets have lifespans longer than most marriages and DNA tests are tampered with as often as people order coffee at Kelly's, nothing ever stays buried for long, especially when it concerns the legacy of one of the town's most cherished families. With whispers now echoing through General Hospital's halls and fan forums alike, viewers are being asked to re-evaluate everything they thought they knew about Rocco Falconeri's origins. Is it possible that the boy so long believed to be the biological child of Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri was never truly theirs to begin with? It's a question that shakes the foundation of not just one family, but multiple storylines long assumed to be resolved. Rocco's birth, already tangled in controversy and misdirection, may be poised for another twist as General Hospital teases a storyline that could rewrite a decade's worth of family dynamics. The intrigue begins with a simple but startling rumor that Rocco, whose conception was already mired in stolen embryos and manipulated paternity claims, might not be Lulu's biological son after all, and that Britt Westbourne, the late and controversial daughter of Dr. Liesel Obrecht, could be more connected to Rocco's fate than anyone realized. The idea isn't as far-fetched as it may initially sound. Longtime viewers remember that Britt once passed off a baby, then known as Ben, as her own, using him to manipulate Patrick Drake and further her mother's sinister agendas. Eventually, that baby was revealed to be the product of Dante and Lulu's embryo, stolen and implanted in Britt without their knowledge. The ensuing drama resulted in Rocco being returned to his rightful parents, with Britt disgraced but eventually humanized before meeting a tragic end in 2023. However, recent developments, both on screen and behind the scenes, are beginning to cloud that narrative. Rumors surrounding actress Kelly Thiebaud's return to the show, in some capacity, have reignited interest in Britt's complicated legacy. While it's uncertain whether she will return as Britt herself or in an entirely new role, fans are speculating that the writers may be using her reappearance as a catalyst to revisit one of the show's most tangled medical mysteries. If that's the case, then it's entirely possible that Rocco's story is far from over, and that the truth about his parentage may still be waiting to be uncovered beneath layers of deception and long-forgotten files. One character already positioned to dig up the past is Brooklyn Quartermain. With her fierce sense of justice and knack for finding herself entangled in others' personal battles, Brooklyn could very well be the one to unearth the truth. Especially now that she's reportedly hired Marco Rios to investigate medical records tied to Britt, suspicions are mounting that the baby once thought to be Dante and Lulu's might not be so easily categorized. Could it be that the embryo switch was even more complex than initially revealed? Did Britt, knowingly or unknowingly, carry a child that wasn't entirely Lulu's? This potential retcon raises significant questions not only about Rocco's true lineage but also about the emotional toll such revelations would have on the central characters. Dante, a devoted father and fiercely loyal man, has spent years believing Rocco was the product of his love with Lulu, even as their marriage suffered and Lulu was ultimately left comatose following a devastating accident. Would Dante, now raising Rocco largely on his own, accept the idea that Britt, whom he once mistrusted, could have a more legitimate claim to his son than Lulu ever did? And what of Rocco himself? Now old enough to form his own opinions, the young falconeri could be forced to confront a painful and destabilizing truth. The woman he believed to be his mother may have never carried him, and the one who did may be someone he's been told to distrust or even blame. Such a revelation would upend Rocco's sense of identity, potentially driving a wedge between him and Dante at a time when their bond is more crucial than ever. And in the wake of Lulu's long absence and uncertain recovery, the very foundations of Rocco's family could collapse under the weight of one long-buried truth. This is the soap opera ripple effect at its most potent. A single altered DNA result, a single forged medical file, has the power to reshape entire destinies. And yet, not all fans are thrilled at the prospect. For many, the original Brit storyline was already convoluted enough, and introducing another layer of uncertainty risks cheapening years of emotional investment in Rocco's family unit. Critics of the rumored twist argue that the show should focus on honoring past character arcs rather than rewriting them for the sake of short-term drama. Still, others see the potential for deep, meaningful storytelling. If Rocco were to discover that Lulu was not his biological mother, it would present a rare opportunity to explore the true meaning of family, how love, sacrifice, and shared history can matter more than blood. It could also serve as a poignant farewell arc for Lulu, should the show decide to keep her in a coma indefinitely or write her out permanently. Conversely, if she were to awaken just in time to confront this new twist, it would provide powerful emotional stakes for her return and perhaps even set the stage for a renewed, more complex relationship between her, Dante, and their son. The inclusion of Brooklyn and Marco in this storyline could also rejuvenate other stagnant plots. Brooklyn, who is no stranger to family betrayal or corporate manipulation, could find herself personally invested in Rocco's fate, especially if she discovers ties between Brit's medical decisions and the Quatermain family legacy. And Marco, relatively new to the canvas, could be the unlikely key to unlocking the mystery, providing a fresh outsider perspective in a town where everyone has secrets and alliances. In the end, General Hospital's brilliance has always lain in its ability to take the familiar and twist it into something new. Whether or not the show chooses to officially rewrite Rocco's parentage, the very suggestion of uncertainty has already succeeded in shaking up the narrative and setting the stage for high-stakes emotional drama. What remains to be seen is how the characters will respond if and when the truth finally comes to light. Will Rocco embrace a new identity, or reject the notion that biology defines family? Will Dante's loyalty to Lulu waver in the face of truth? And if Brit is indeed the woman who brought Rocco into the world, will her death take on a new layer of tragedy, or could there still be more secrets left behind, waiting to surface? In Port Charles, the past is never truly past. It waits, buried under memories and misdirection, until the day it chooses to return, and when it does, no one is safe from the fallout.